welcome back. It is Wednesday, May 15th. Diego, you are here just in time. We're going to get started here with EB lessons, but before we get into any tricks, let's go ahead and warm up together. We got our workout first, the trick second. Today I'm going to be using this, the long-handled freestyle rope, because we're going to be working on some crosses and some side swings and things of that nature. You know, long handles give you a little bit of extra reach. I'm going to be holding them like this throughout our workout, just to give me a little further reach on all of those crosses. I don't have to work as hard. All right, here we go. So we're going to kick things off with 2-foot jumps. So get your rope ready. 2-foot jumps, that's just the regular jump. Just when you're jumping feet together. Here we go. 2-foot jumps, about 30 seconds to kick things off. Now, you want to make sure that your shoulders are not high, they're not tense, they're relaxed. This is our first jumps of the day. We're getting our form in check, our hands are low, and we're not jumping too high. We're not jumping too high. I'm jumping on a mat today, so I'm not even wearing shoes, so I really don't need to jump that high. I don't even need to clear the sole of a shoe. And that is time. Nice work on the 2-foot jumps. All right, we're going to be going skill by skill. I'll tell you how to do it right before it happens so you don't have to worry about it. The next thing we're going to do is side open. This is our first move that's going to kind of introduce the EB today. This is the side swing and then open. So you bring both hands to one side and then you jump through, just like this. So if you are doing a side swing to your left, put your right hand on top and then the opposite on the other side. All right, we're going to go for 30 seconds. This is it. Side swing, open, side swing, open. And this can be as slow or as fast as you'd like. Like I say every week, you know, we're working on these skills together, and the goal is just to make it to the end of the 30 seconds. And even if you make a mistake, you just get right back into it. Side swing, open. And if you've already mastered this one, you can go a little faster with it. Side swing, open, pairing almost like a double under. Or you can keep it at a nice controlled pace like this. This is more similar to what we're going to be doing later with the EB. Okay, another really important skill to have before EB is the open cross. That's when you jump over the rope, cross your arms, jump through, and jump again. Open cross, of course, because it's open on the first jump, then cross on the next. Open cross. Here we go. You see that red bar? That means we're jumping. That is the progress bar. Keep it up, everybody. Now, if you've been doing the same hand on top every time, I encourage you to switch. Try the other hand a couple times. Open cross. Like this. Maybe switching every time. You can even switch your feet around. Or you can just try to keep making it all the way to 30 seconds. Oh, almost got me there. My toe. All right, we are resting. Excellent job. Next, we're going to do side open, just like side open, but this time 2 side swings. So left, right, open. And just like before, if we're doing a side swing to the left, or actually just the opposite as before, if we're doing a side swing to the left, put your left hand on top. That'll make the second side swing more smooth. That'll make that transition a little better. This time, don't worry about switching left, right, open, right, left, open. I want you to try just picking one side and doing it over and over. So I'm doing left, right, open, left, right, open, left, right, open. It's an interesting rhythm. It's a little different than the other ones we've done. It's in a pattern of 3. If you're a musician out there, you might feel that difference a lot more than anybody else. Open, side, open. Now my side swings, notice how my hands aren't coming up really high or really far away from me. They're staying pretty close to where they would be for a regular 2-foot jump. Nice work, we're resting again. Next up is jog step. That's just alternating left, right. Kicking our feet, not necessarily back, and not really bringing our knees up super high, just enough that our feet stays almost directly underneath of us. Right, so if I'm turning this way, how my steps are going, my feet are staying in line with my body as I go. I'm jumping over the rope every time I'm switching feet, not like this, left, right, but every time my feet switch, I'm clearing the rope. And while we're going, check your hands, make sure they're not too high. Make sure they're close to that waistline, close to those pockets. Make sure your shoulders are still relaxed and we are resting. Nice work, everybody. This is a fast one, pretty quick pace workout. Remember, we're getting to our tricks today. This is like our second round through. We're going to start off with 2-foot jumps once again. Really dialing in our form this time. Really keeping our shoulders relaxed, keeping our hands in. It's gonna be really important down the road as we add in a little more complicated tips and tricks and skills. Here we go. 5 seconds, maybe get a little breath. And we are off with our second round. All of those skills. So 2-foot jumps. Remember, go as fast or as slow as you need. I challenge you to go a little bit faster than you did the first round though. And it's okay to go faster than you think you can because there's no limit for mistakes. This is not 3 strikes, you're out. Just keep on going. And time. Excellent work, everybody. Okay. Next up, we got open cross again. This time, I want you to really focus on what your arms are doing for that cross. Make sure your elbows aren't touching, right? It's not too high. It's closer to the elbows, but it's lower. And this time, really focus on where you're pointing your handles. All right, when we cross, a lot of times people bring their hands up high like this, and my handles are pointing up. Keep pointing your handles down as you cross. See, at that peak moment where I'm in the air, my handles, they are going diagonally down here. Diagonally down on either side. I'm switching my hands too, just to mix it up a little bit. And that is time on the open cross. Keep those same ideas in mind with where you have your hands for the cross. That's going to come in handy later when we do EB. Next up, we got side open. That's the other part of the EB, the side swing. Whew. Anybody else feeling a little out of breath already? We got the side swing open, just like we did the first round. We're going to start this in 5 seconds. Another tip for these side swings that's going to be really important later for the EB is make sure your hands don't go too far away from your body, even to the front, right? So if I'm facing this way as I do my side swings, my hand doesn't scoop out really far like this. It stays really close in the front. So even as I turn this way, my hands, they are really close. Woo. 5 more seconds. Woo. Great work, everybody. That was side swing open. We're nearing the end of our workout. We got jumping on one leg. We're going to do it 15 seconds on each side. I'm going to pick my left one to start. It's the one I struggle with the most. Get it over with. All right. Jumping on one leg. This one you really got to make sure your hands are staying low because you're not going to jump as high going off of one leg than you would two, naturally. It doesn't really matter what you do with your other leg. You can keep your knee up like this. You can kind of keep it dangling next to you. Whatever feels comfortable for you, as long as you feel like you can make it. Even if you don't make it, it's fine. You just got to keep trying. And that's time. I know that one goes by fast. It feels like we just started. Time for jumping on the other leg. This one I was feeling. I was excited for this one. The right leg. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Only 15 seconds, like I always say. Half the legs, half the time for this part of the workout. And after the one-legged jumps, we got our final boss battle of this workout, which is, of course, the 1-minute jump. So take a second, catch your breath, pause the video if you want to really go hard for this last minute. For this last minute, you can do any skill you'd like. The whole focus of this is to jump for 1 minute. So any skill you feel like you want to practice a little bit more. If you want some ideas, here's some that we've done in the past. We've done jump straddle, where it's like a jumping jack, but just with the bottom half. We've done cross step, where you cross with one foot in front like this. I think we've done this one before. It's called march step. You jump and raise one knee until your leg, right at the top of your thigh, is parallel with the ground. You can practice those side swings. They're going to come in handy soon. You can practice, we call it boxer skip. This one is nice if you have to jump for a long time, right? A lot of times if you're jumping with the feet together, people will burn out pretty quickly. But if you alternate, put all of your weight on one foot, then the other foot. One foot, then the other foot. You just let the other one tap next to it. You're going to be able to jump rope a lot longer. And that is time. That was the 1 minute jump. Excellent work, everybody. We've made it through our workout. I hope you're feeling warmed up. Take a second to get some water if you need it. Pause this video, stretch if you'd like. Let me take a look at the chat, see what's going on. Still have to practice side swings. Still haven't gotten the hang of it. No worries. One of the most common side swing problems you'll see, like I said before, is one is going to be the reaching out too far. That's what makes the rope kind of lose its axis, right? Normally we want the rope spinning on this axis. As soon as it starts to get a little wavy to the side and starts smacking your knees from the side or coming up to the back of your head, that's because the rope is going too diagonal like this and your arm is sweeping out too much. That's going to happen a lot with the EB as we're practicing right now. The other common problem with side swings, if you find that your rope is getting really tangled and it's hard to open back after you do the side swings, that's because the part I was talking about with which hand is on top and when. It's a tricky one to figure out at first, but once you do it once, it'll click, it'll feel really natural. And that's if you're doing the side swing before the open, that side swing before the open should have the opposite hand on top. So take a second to think about that. If you're doing a left side swing to open, your right hand should be on top. So left side swing, the right side swing. And that's why it's kind of flipped when you do the two side swings in a row, because it makes the side swing over to the other side more natural, and then the side swing to the open at the end, right? So if you're doing left, right, open, you'll start with the opposite hand on top than you would if you just did left, open, left, open. You can take a second and try that on your own. The rope I'm using today, this is the freestyle rope. You can actually make your own on the Elite store. That you can pick all of your beads. I just got the basic one here. We got the white beads, longer handles. The freestyle ones do have the longer handles. Look, I don't have a beaded one close by, but these are the core handles. Another commonly used one for freestyle. I think a beaded rope is great to practice this. This is a thicker 6mm licorice rope. Another really common choice for learning all these, but personally, I'm a beaded rope guy. So beaded rope today for sure. Now, we're gonna get into the EB. When we do the EB, I want you to hold your handles a little bit lower, and that doesn't matter what rope you're using, what your handles look like, right? Even if I'm using these ropes, I normally will cheat my hands down a little bit when I get into all these crossing skills. So this is what it looks like today. This might be like my standard 2-foot jump where I'm holding it, and then this is where I kind of get to for all my crossing skills. So an EB is a cross with your body sandwiched between your arms, right? So this is a cross, and if you look at the rope, right, we got the open, that U shape when you cross your arms, still making that U shape. Now here's the tricky one. When you do the EB, it's still that same U shape. So one arm is in front, one arm is in the back. To get into the EB, you're going to start with a side swing. So if I'm doing a side swing on my left, as soon as my rope is going down next to me, my left arm is going to go behind the back. So here we go. Left arm goes behind the back, just like this. Notice that how the front hand, the hand that's in the front, is already there from the side swing. I don't really need to move it very much. And this is where people might get tripped up, because people will sweep that front arm really far, and then the rope starts to look like this. It goes diagonally. Your head doesn't make it through, or your head makes it through, but it doesn't quite make it to your feet. That's the most common thing I'll see when people are learning the EB like this, right? So we go side swing, EB, just like this. So I'll face this way so you can take a look. I'm doing the side swing. My hand is fitting behind my back before the rope comes up over my head. Then I'm holding that position until I jump through again. Once you've jumped through, you've made it through the hardest part, all you have to do is that hand that's behind the back, open it right back up, right? So we're doing the side swing, EB, and the back hand is doing the first action, and that's kind of starting to open, and then my front hand is following into that open position. So I'm jumping. They really do kind of happen at the same time, but the left hand just gets a little bit of a head start, my back arm. Now, facing this way one more time, here. And if you've already got it, I encourage you to try it on the other side, just like this, right? So the other hand goes to the back. I'm definitely better on my left side than I am on my right. So here we go. We got the left side and the right side. Another thing with EB, if it's coming up really high, that might mean that, just like with cross, you want to point your handles diagonally down. All the tips that I've said before for cross, you got to try to remember them right now for the EB because they all apply, right? If our hands are crossed up too high, the rope comes up too high, it doesn't really work. If your hands are sweeping out really far, that one doesn't affect the cross as much because your hands are naturally so far in front and that's where the rope is traveling. But because the EB has this really distinct side swing and like diagonal axis at the beginning, you got to do everything you can to correct it and keep it on that forward track. Okay, now let's talk about another EB variation. It is called a fake EB or EB swing, some people call it that. It looks like this. Right, you don't have to jump at all. It's a favorite for many jump ropers on a break or boxers between sets. Also a lot of, they call it flow rope and flow artists will get into this skill. To do this one, everything's the same for the EB. You do the side swing for the EB. Right before the spot when you would jump it, you just take that front hand and bring the rope to the side. So we do the EB setup, it goes over the head, it's got to clear the head. So EB setup, and then open that front arm right before it hits your feet. So one more time, it's going to my feet, I open it back up. So side swing, hand goes behind the back, it goes over the head, open it back up. If you tried it a couple of times, you want to give your brain a puzzle here, you can try it on the other side, behind the back and in the front, behind the back and in the front. There we go. And on both sides. And then my final challenge for you to take home, even if you don't get this one today, that's totally fine, I want you to keep working on it, is going to be the fake EB right into an EB. This is how it works. You do the side swing, the fake EB, keep the hand that's behind you behind the back. Keep it close and keep turning with your wrist. That's the other important thing for all these EB variations. If your hand just sticks there, the rope is going to stick there and the rope is going to fly away. You have to keep turning your wrists. It's also one of the benefits of long handles. So we're going fake EB, jumping the EB, and out. So notice my hand stays behind the back, my front hand does an open, and then across, and then I jump again. So side swing, hand goes behind the back, both handles are pointing to my right side, and then I'm going through open. So fake EB, EB, open. EB swing, EB, open. EB swing is probably the more popular term. Open. EB swing, EB, open. And the other side. All right. Great job, Luis. Great job, Diego. If you have any more questions, feel free to drop it in the chat right now. I had a lot of fun doing EB with you all today. Any more questions about ropes, EB, any other tricks? You can even let me know if you think today's workout was too hard, too easy, because luckily there's a lot of wiggle room here. I can adjust these classes to whatever you all are saying because you're here live. People are watching it after the fact, but you are here right now. So you get to change the outcome of the next class. If not, everybody, great job today, and I will see you all next week, 7 p.m. EST, right here on YouTube for a free Elite Jumps jump rope class. See you next time.